Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the Kill the Beast event in which the Minogor is added to the game. We're going to be going over two teams with them, both of which are kind of oriented with the Minogor and the Green Seer because they are a very strong combo together. If you don't happen to have a Green Seer, you can easily just replace it out for one of a attack buffing troop of any kind. But let's actually get into seeing what he does. So let's go over to him. Quite a few unique things that he actually offers. First things first, he deals damage to an enemy and then triple if he has a higher attack than them. So that is going to be very effective for attempting one-shots, particularly earlier in the game. It should be able to one-shot. Later in the game, it doesn't do that as well, but it does get pretty close, and with a little bit of a magic buffing, it'll easily be able to get up to that point. One thing that's really notable to notice is if you go to level 15 down there on the bottom on those stats, of course, he is an ultra rare, and anything ultra rare or below is in arena, and he actually has the highest base attack of anything in arena by quite a bit as well. He has a base attack of 11 in arena. Of course, anything that has a high base attack has a lower HP and armor in this game, but he has the highest base attack by 2. The previous highest is 9, so he will easily be able to crush arena whenever you can find him within an arena draft, because it will instantly be hitting triple damage on pretty much everything, and he just has a very high attack. Of course, he's going to be extremely flimsy, but he's going to be excessively high on the damage output in arena. So even if he kind of falls off the meta after this week, if no one really uses him anymore, he will definitely be good for a while in the meta of arena. So keep that in mind if you ever see him when drafting within arena. Other than that, he does twice as much monsters, which goes pretty well with his high attack. He also gains even more attack from Firebrand, every single red on the team, additional attack. And whenever anything casts on the enemy team, he'll also be gaining 1 additional attack. So completely attack oriented, and pretty much everything he does. That's one of the reasons why we go Entangled too, is we don't actually need to worry about him being traded or anything like that. Of course, ours is traded, but you don't really need to worry about that otherwise if you were to have an Entangle like Green Seer or something on your team, because that will reduce them down to 0 attack. And of course, as long as you have any amount of attack, you will have higher than a 0 attack. So let's go into some teams with it now. Of course, we are going to be doing the Green Seer teams with them. One other thing that you can do if you do not have a Green Seer, that will be pretty easy to synergize with them. They're actually both from the same kingdom. Is you can go do the 100 purple kills this week, and you will be getting Sunweaver, which is actually a pretty good synergy troop for the new troop that just was introduced. It increases attack, armor, and life of an ally, and then gives us some mana. So not only will you be increasing the attack, you'll also be able to cast with it, and it'll help be a little bit tankier. And they both have Monster Slayer in case monsters ever become extremely annoying. So you can do that if you don't have anything else to synergize with it. But we'll be doing these two teams. Go all the way down here. Go with our tanky web team first. Main premise of this is to poke them down with our web spinner and then go for the kill with our Minogor. You could also use them in reverse order if you wanted to. I'm mainly doing it in this order, assuming that most people with a web spinner don't tend to have it fully traded, because it does take quite a bit to trade, and there's not too many instances in which you would use a fully traded web spinner. But we'll just poke them down. Unfortunately, we don't have our monster slaying troop in first slot. Of course, the Great Maul is a monster, as you can see there. So if we were using the Minogor, we'd be doing twice as much damage, which would be 72 attack per skull, but unfortunately we can't do that because it's not in first slot. But we'll kind of let his mercy do his thing. I think he might actually be setting us up for a cast right here, which is really nice. Ideally, we would not want to do it on something like a yellow, because we do need quite a bit of yellow. But if that is our only option, then we might as well go for it. And that'll give us a lot of mana. We'll want to make sure there's always a bunch of green on the board. We'll be needing that mainly for our web spinner to make sure it can keep looping, as well as giving our Minogor even more mana. So right now we can actually go for a kill, and I think I'm going to. We can kill out the Great Maul, and before he does anything weird, I'm going to do that. You may even notice that we end up getting a magic buff from our Green Seer, so that will be even easier for us to do our one-shot. So right here we'll be able to do 72 damage. That'll easily be the kill. Let's kill that out with the triple damage. And since he was entangled, we would have had a higher attack regardless, but since he was entangled, we definitely had a higher attack, because for the duration of the entangle, it counts them as having 0 attack. So all you have to do is have at least 1, and you'll be doing triple damage with it. So we'll just cast our web spinner right here. Should pretty easily be able to get extra turns and stuff like that. Don't know if we'll be able to get all of our web spinner mana back, which is one of the unfortunate things about the order that we have them in at the moment. But we can do that, and oops, I should have taken it the other way around. We actually could have taken that for an extra turn and dropped it there. I thought that would have been, but then I accidentally took the other one as well. Kind of like right here where we take both of them and get the red, but did that in the wrong order right there, but shouldn't matter too much for this particular battle. Of course, we can do triple damage to any of them, though I do not think that is enough, so we'll just throw down a web spinner until it is enough damage to actually get a kill. And there we go, we just get our turn right back, and we do lose our turn whenever we cast this, which is one little bit of a drawback, but we know he's pretty much just going to take skulls next turn, so we can go for one of the kills right now if we wanted to. And let's just double check on the famine real quick. Can we actually kill that? That is 72 damage, and he has, yes, we can kill it. We had just enough, so we'll go for that. He'll just tap that out, and we will go for anywheres where we can actually get this to land for extra turn. Doesn't really matter what it's on, just need the extra turn. So we'll do that on brown right there. Of course, we have the Gorgoltha for backup mana in case we mess anything up. Our attack is a little bit lower on our Gorgoltha, mainly because of his double famine, keeps reducing them here and there. But we'll just throw this down, go for a poke on the famine. And that's pretty much the match right there. We'll actually be able to take double skulls. Let's take that one first, because we won't be able to if we did it in the opposite order. So we'll just go for that. Go for a web spinner right here. Should be able to get an extra turn, and then we just kill it out with the tar. And that is match. Also, you'll notice we are getting 25% extra this week, so he's a little bit higher. That's because all wild planes have 25% this week, as well as all wild folk have 25% this week. So it'd also be pretty good to use him with a Sunweaver, as I mentioned earlier, that you can get with the event gems. But let's go over here. Well, let's actually do something that's an actual battle. This is obviously just someone putting this up for the purple gems this week. And this isn't quite an actual battle either, but let's see. I guess we could do it against this. And we'll go and... Why do I have Emperor Corvash here? We actually need a Behemoth here. This game servers are actually going over maintenance right now. You may notice like connection issues yesterday, maybe today, and probably into tomorrow. They are finally going through the process of switching over their servers. They switched their database over a couple weeks ago, actually, and now they are doing, or a couple weeks ago, actually 2 months ago or so, but now they are finally switching over the servers. So, you may notice like some downtime and stuff like that over the next few days, but by the time the new kingdom comes out later this week, it should pretty much be sorted out for the most part. Okay, so right now, again, we kind of just need to go and rush the green seer. The other thing we want to be rushing is our humility. Of course, both of them use yellow though, so just rushing yellows in general will be getting us what we need. Hopefully we can get another yellow and get a surge on that. I am using humility first slot, but if you do not have them fully traded, you'd want to probably use your behemoth first slot. You could actually use an Emperor Corvash, even though I didn't mean to have that there earlier. You actually could use an Emperor Corvash, and that would be perfectly fine with this team. I mainly just went with this to kind of do the same methodology that we were doing before with the web spinner, in which we will just keep reducing them down to make sure they can't actually, or to make sure that we can actually go for the one shot. So he's probably going to get a devour right here. Luckily he hits the one thing that he can't devour. Also, it didn't actually trigger the devour, or else you would have saw the impervious in a little animation. So even though he did hit something with impervious, he didn't even bother to trigger it. But we'll just do this on skulls right here. Main reason to this is just to distract the AI. The AI is still a little weird on PC and mobile. I believe their next major patch, like the next major patch or two, they're going to be giving the same thing that they gave to console, which is like a custom AI for defending, which would be pretty nice because the current AI is pretty dumb when it comes to skulls. They'll almost always take skulls under every circumstance there is, and it is quite exploitable in many, many, many ways, as you can see right now. So we'll just keep doing this. I wasn't even paying attention to see what kind of buffs we're getting on it. I saw right there that we got an armor, which is not good at all. But let's see what happens. Or doesn't matter if our humility dies. That would actually be better for us. And now we have a bunch of magic on everything. You can see we have 46. That is definitely enough to kill on triple damage. He also has enough attack at the moment to be able to one-shot all of them. And even if he didn't, we have the green seer, which will easily be able to get him that mana. And okay, we can do this on red right over here. That's funny. Even she has a bunch of magic. Too bad she doesn't actually use it for anything. So we do not have a high enough attack to actually do anything here. I might take a skull and then let him take a skull. I think that might be the turn here. So he'll go for the other skull. We'll take the blue. We'll have a behemoth that can do quite a bit of damage. Yeah, 42 to everything. That would actually be pretty nice right about now. So we will go for that. We could have taken that down for the brown, but we already had full brown. And we ended up getting an extra turn from it anyways off that. So it was better to take it that way. I'm actually going to wait a turn. Mainly because he's going to take those purples most likely next turn. And in doing so, we will be able to then kill him. I just want to wait until he gets full mana. Yep, he does exactly that. Such predictable AI. We got them down. Okay, so we'll go and throw that down, kill it out, and we'll throw down the green seer, and that's pretty much the match right there. We can easily one-shot anything without even a slight of struggle. And if not, we can just behemoth or green seer or do really anything else to finish it out. So yeah, we'll have that. We'll kill out the bigger threat. Or actually, we'll go... oh, never mind. Skull won't be enough damage. I wish it was. That's weird. We haven't gotten like any attack buffs from it, but we'll go kill out the bigger threat. Not too worried about the Guardian. The Guardian on its own can't really do that much. So we'll just take the blue, and I believe that's surprisingly enough damage on its own to kill. Yeah, it's 45 damage. It just has to hit at least one skull, and we win the match right here. And since there are 5 skulls on the board, that is pretty likely that I'll hit at least one skull. Yes, there it goes. It hit that one skull right there, and that is the match, and that is the new troop. As far as what I will be using it for, I will probably be using it some on my Let's Play account, because earlier on in the game, that kind of triple damage and high attack is pretty good. On my main account, I likely won't be using it at all. It's kind of one of those troops that come, you use it for the initial week, and then it's kind of gone. You just use it for whatever the reward is. Like this week, whenever you use in PvP, you get 5 additional glory. But after that, I won't really be using it that much. But it is a very, very, very good arena pick. It might actually be one of the better arena picks in the game right now. It is pretty flimsy. As we saw with the stats earlier on it, it is ridiculously flimsy at a level 15. But as far as its damage output, it could quite possibly have one of the highest damage output of anything in Arena. May even have the highest damage output of any specific troop. Of course, Hero does have a higher damage output than it, especially once you get later into the game, because it does account for your leveling on your hero, not your actual class, but your actual leveling. But him as a troop is, I believe, the most damage per turn that you can possibly have from any arena pick. So definitely, if you see him in arena, if you do arena a lot, pick him pretty much every time you see him, as long as it doesn't conflict with your mana too much. Anyways, that'll wrap it up for this video. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.